where the rest of the people are. I don't know where the rest of the people are.
Thursday is usually slow anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's slow. Ashok doesn't come. Durga doesn't come.
Too far.
And how much to come? They are from a distance. You are also from a distance.
Yes,
Right?
I am.
You are.
But
Goes to show how about a great devotee you are. You are.
I
Yeah.
really is.
You are a great
Thank you.
devotee. Otherwise you wouldn't make such a long trip.
or how much to listen? The same talk again and again.
No, Swamiji, we have to hear it again and again. That's what
Even
it's...
then, it doesn't make impression on me. I really listening.
No, it really makes a difference. Though.
It does.
Makes a difference. And we have to be in holy company as much as we possibly can.
You are holy, so your
Swamiji,
presence
we are
also
in your
gives us.
company, you holy company.
Advaita is
Your
really
your presence gives us holiness. Who
I
thinks
what?
about God, they are holy.
The who?
One who thinks about God, that
Sometimes
person
I
is
think
holy.
I don't think enough. Oh God.
But enough is not at the point, but thinking is enough.
Okay, Swamiji, I'll accept your compliment.
I'm always thinking about my pains.
About your what?
Pain.
I have pain. I'm also seeing your my pain.
That's the point. Yeah.
Yeah.
God is pain.
Huh?
God is pain.
God does give pain, doesn't he?
Good things. He does if you can't.
God does give pain, and God is pain.
God is pain. He's everything. He's everything. So it must be pain as well.
All awareness is.
Is there any slok in Chandi? Dukkha rupenu sangasthita
আছে তো।
or shoka rupenu sangasthita? Namastasya,
The
namastasya.
meaning you can say out of so many, yes, there are significant. So now we are talking about Shravana or hearing, the glory of hearing.
You see, Swamiji, that's exactly what
So
we're
it is
talking about.
156 page,
156.
157. We have read yesterday everything. After that we didn't start even, so we are reading on page 157 in the top.
167.
157.
157. Okay.
O Lord, the support of pure and holy ones. Hey, who is Lord? Lord is the support of the pure and holy ones. Learning, charities, teaching, austerity, and the like cannot purify the corrupted hearts of men in as effective a way as that satisfying faith developed by listening to the accounts of thee and thy excellency.
It is the answer, Swamiji. We were just talking about.
Yeah.
No.
That's why it says that you can do austerity, you can make charities, you can learn so many things, and you can teach so many things. But all these are helpful. But here Krishna says, no, that it cannot purify that quickly as will purify by listening to the accounts. What happens when you listen to the accounts of the Lord and His glories? What happens? We need not have to make any effort. Like you meditate one thing, and when someone gives you a guided meditation. In guided meditation, you need not have to make a much effort. Your mind think this, think that, go this way. So your mind moves like that. Similarly, listening takes the attention. Of course, half-hearted listening or real listening. Let's say they have translated is listening or hearing. Hearing sometimes is superficial. You hear, don't hear. It enters here and you're thinking something, so you are not hearing.
Mind is in there, like you said.
So that hearing is not important. That hearing does not do much good. But that will do good when one listens, with attention. Then what happens? Listening, when the Harikatha, people do Harikatha. in India, they sing the glories of Lord in such a way, with music, with anecdotes, people get totally absorbed into it. 1 hour, 2 hours, they forget the whole world. So that is total absorption comes without your effort. So he's saying if one can practice listening to the glories of the Lord and His excellences, two things. Glories, one is that accounts of the Lord and the excellences, two things. Accounts means stories. Oh, Ramakrishna was standing there, he was talking to this. These are accounts. That can take our mind from distracted mind into the focus. And now, excellences, what he speaks about, and who is Ramakrishna when you talk about that glory or its real grandeur. Then these two things put together makes the mind very concentrated.
So the Gospel of Sri Ramakrishna, the account of
Yeah, accounts as also gospel has deep meaning if one thinks about that. Sri Ramakrishna speaking, you can account. Account is this Sri Ramakrishna sitting in Dakshineshwar in a small couch. This is account. And that time Naren entered into the room and Sri Ramakrishna was excited, and then he asked Naren to sing a song. These are accounts. So when really someone tells you like that or you read, your mind actually moves in that direction. This is helpful. Now, in this period, suddenly Sri Ramakrishna started singing a song. And as he started singing a song, his mind went into ecstasy. Suppose what he sang and what is the meaning of the song, if you think along with that, then that is the excellences, that God's glory. So two things may help. One is the lila, another is the tattva. Lila Chintan, divine sport or accounts, and the other one is the excellences, his glories. So says here it says that no other practice can give you so much benefit rather than these two. That means it's saying it is very efficacious to listen. So
156, 57.
the green book. Is
Eight.
there anything different from that?
So this is the further elucidation of the same in the words of the gods. Parikshit, on the purifying effect of Sravana, he has said in the 7th verse, and this is the in another place in the 11th chapter, the gods are talking about. Parikshit again on the all comprehensive relevancy of Sravana again.
So the Kathamrita is always Shravana Mangalam.
That is a Sravana Mangalam.
Isn't that applicable to every spiritual scripture?
Every, but some are easy, some are easily understandable. Mind easily gets absorbed. Some are difficult. Suppose I read a Mandukya Karika before you, Shankar Bhasya. It is a great Vedanta book. But you will, after some time, you will hear, but everything goes above the head. But when you hear the Ramakrishna sitting, standing, sweet melody, dancing, going to ecstasy, it is easy to absorb. That's why Krishna Katha, Krishna's childhood stories, these are more easily mind can get absorbed. Unless one practices high Vedantic thoughts, it is not easy, mind cannot go easily. Every text is true. if we can say this book. If I read the Sanskrit and ask you to meditate, what will you do? This is Sanskrit text. Suddhir ninang natu tatingo durasvayanang vidya sutadhyana dana tapakriyavihi satyatmanam rishava tejasasi pravidya satsradhaya sravana sanghitaya jatasyat. Okay, I sang this. I read this. It is a scripture. Sounds good, but where is your concentration?
But
What is the
like
meaning?
a real life soul could give that type of,
Vibration.
Yeah.
explanation, not just an
No,
understanding.
that's why it is easy for anyone
Like
if
Vivekananda.
we have the meaning and explanation and more of the stories, ordinary mind catches well. And the glory means God. Who is God? Always say Vedanta. Brahman is. Then you read, people meditate on Astavakra.
I like that book.
Astavakra
It's
Samhita.
a wonderful book.
So Astavakra Samhita you read and you can easily flow in the thought and you can meditate on the infinitude of God, God's glory. So that is the excellences. Now next one, 9th verse.
The green book has something else.
Huh?
The green book is saying
Green later.
Oh, the green book.
These solid hearts of men are not as much purified by means of learning, charity, asceticism, and religious practices as they are by their ears being filled with the praise of the glory. O worshipful Lord, that the pure souled saints listen in firm faith. Meaning is the same, but little. This book has taken liberty to make it easier, and this book has made it much close to the original. Anyhow, 9th verse. Who except killers would not feel interested in hearing? Killers mean inhuman people. Those who are
Murderer.
killers means but it's inhuman. Those are very rough people, have no softness in their heart. So who accept the killers means that is inhuman persons would not feel interested in hearing the recitals of the Lord's glories and excellences coming from the mouths of holy men, free from all worldly desires. Recitals that are so delightful to the ear and are possessed of the power of curing the ailment of samsara like a potent medicine. So, what is the disease? Disease is the worldly desire. So,
Materialistic mind.
Worldly desire of mind that has kept us in the world. So, to cure that disease of worldliness from the mind, this hearing is the best aid. But it should come from the people, holy men. Pundits can talk, that will not have effect, as you have just said. The holy people, their impact is more deep. So, well, that's why it said, that means it will satisfy the heart of everyone, except a very person whose heart is like a rock. Nothing penetrates into it. That means those are very worldly, very gross-minded, materialistic. That type of people, except those, it will soothe the heart of everyone when they listen to the holy words from the mouth of a Jivan Mukta, a man of realization. But where will you get some Jivan Muktas? It's not easy to get them.
It's harder and harder, right?
Hmm?
Harder and harder. Say, for instance, in the Bellar month, you have a new generation of monks, and it's harder to get that type of
No,
or the same,
no, it should
like
be different.
Brahmananda and all of those direct disciple, and then the second, you know.
Yeah, no, there are, even today, there are sadhus who are illumined swamis.
Sarvadevananda.
So,
Sarvadevananda, have you heard him?
You haven't heard Sarvadevananda? Who hasn't heard
A little.
Huh?
I missed that one.
oh, but you can see, watch in your YouTube. You can
But
watch.
it's different from
Anyhow,
no?
yeah. So it will be.
Young man. 40.
45, 46.
Really,
Yes.
he looks so young, no?
He
Maybe
is
he
young.
looks like
Yeah,
20.
46 is pretty young.
45 is not, it's young, but not really, really young.
Well, even our Maharaj looks so young.
You look, yeah, Swami, before. Not before, but when you came at 55, you were so young, no?
Everyone was young one day.
When you
Everyone.
came from India, you were so young, and all of the other Swamis were
No, no,
and now
everyone
you
was
have
young
become
one time,
senior.
and after 25 years, everyone has grown old.
Yeah.
Unless you
But
go to
some people look the same. Some people look little older. That
It's a life that treats you.
no, some sadhus, some people look the same because they keep. Our Alicia,
Alicia, yeah, she's
Uh,
80.
she's 80, but look at her
Yeah,
face.
yeah, she's 80, but she was much younger.
But look at her face.
I
So peaceful, joyful. Yes, I said, how are you? Then I said, you look the same. Then she said, Maharaj, I go and I sleep. I have no. I'm good, like a child. You have no. She has no anxiety. So she is not asking for many things. Simple people are very happy. Rich people, moneyed people, they have so many things. They have so many anxieties. But the simple people, they are very happy. That was India. Simple people, they eat, do the simple chanting of Harinam in the evening, and then they're happy. They're very peaceful. They die peacefully because their desire is not much, their expectation is not much. But the modern society has made us expect too much.
And more as the more rich they are in India, the more greedy they become. And no,
Everywhere.
over here, at least people have charitable thing. Look at Bill Gates, but in India, they just out there trying to cheat even more. Oh God, yeah, Ambani and all of some people I personally know. They just started. Even Papan was talking about it.
What?
Some kind of a school. They don't teach anything, and they just outrageous money they charge, including Ambani's. They are one of the richest in India. I think they're probably the richest in.
Yeah, but
And
this
yet India is supposed to be such a spiritual country. I always hear that.
general people are like that. It is question that rich people, every time, everywhere there is. And general people, if you look, they are, because of now all intermixing and watching the television and America and Europe and this dress, that dress. So young people, children are now getting intoxicated into that type of dress, that type of computer, that
The
type of thing.
situation in
It
India
is
has
naturally.
improved a little, no? No?
Me, I don't think so.
You don't think so?
Huh?
Money-wise, yes.
Everything, education, no?
Yeah, education has increased, right. But I cannot say anything. How can I know whole India, 1 billion people, and we only no pocket of here and
Right,
pocket of there. How much we do.
But that's mostly the trend, Maharaj. Everybody's in cell phone. So even parents, they do not know the ethical, moral values. So what are they going to teach their kids?
Mm.
Our parents taught that always think about others, always share with others. And now I see the parents say, just grab more, take more, and no control. They don't know
But
themselves.
that you see one section of this population. But there are good people. There are
Oh, of course,
in the villages. Not that all villages, but in the villages I saw the innocence of the children,
Mm.
innocence of the people. We visited many places in this trip to Bangladesh, to West Bengal, at least West Bengal. I went out maybe 20 places, maybe altogether. So there you see these children who are so innocent, no? They're coming from this, what you call the tribal SCST group, scheduled tribe and scheduled tribe. These children come to the school and teach them something. They are doing this very simple living and honest living. There are people, hundreds of people are
You
there.
know, Swami Alicia has 3 children and 7 or 8 grandchildren.
Mm.
Yeah,
Alisa.
Alicia.
Oh.
Alicia.
Mm.
And she has a sister too. Also, when she was after her operation on the hip, she was able to go to her sister because her own place had stairs and she couldn't, you know. So she has a lot of family here, and doesn't really
That
much.
does not.
She used to come with a young lady.
Who, Elisa?
Yeah.
I don't remember.
No. Young lady means someone to work.
Or someone to work with. Okay.
Anyhow,
Yeah.
who accepts that? Note says that the implication is that according to Bhagavata, practice of devotion has relevance to people at all levels of spiritual evolution and is not meant only for underdeveloped minds, mandabuddhis, as some type of Advaitins maintain. Advaita Vedanta people think they are of lower underdeveloped minds. That is not true. Jivan Muktas like Narada sing the Lord's praise out of love and awareness of his immediate presence everywhere. So Narada speaks everywhere about the glories of God and his presence. So men who feel the bondage of samsara and seek release resort to it, as sick men take medicine. Even ordinary worldly minded people hear devotional recitals, firstly because they are delighted to hear, and next because those people have the belief that such a recital may be helpful in warding off calamities in the world. It is only the most pervasive type of men that will eschew all devotional contacts from their lives. So the Bhagavad calls the killers or brutes. Who are the brutes? Means those are have no softness. Anyhow, so we got it. What we get? That except a very inhuman person, everyone should feel interested in hearing the recitals of the Lord's glories and His excellences when it comes from the mouth of holy men, but free from worldly passions and desires. And recitals that are of delightful to the ears and are possessed of the power of curing the ailment of sorrow. This is when you listen to these holy words, it has to power of curing the ailment. Ailment here disease. What is the disease? Disease of samsara, the duality, of the forgetfulness of God. That disease will be cured. Now, Rishi on how even spiritually perfect ones resort to Shravana. It is not that the ordinary people should listen to the glories of God, those who are buddhi is not developed, But also, those people who are spiritual, they should also, Thakur said, sadhu also needs sadhu sangha. Sadhu needs sadhu sangha. Why? It is like igniting the fire more. Here the other book translation, who turn away from hearing the glories of the Lord, unless he is a death-dealing butcher of brutes, the lowliest of the low castes. The praise of the Lord is sung by saints who have no selfish ends to satisfy. It is a remedy to cure the ills of life and confers joy on the ears and hearts of those who hear it. So it gives soothing to the heart, soothing to hearing also. Now the 10th verse, the Rishi, on how even spiritually perfected ones, they resort to Sravana. Where is the connoisseur of spiritual values? Where is the connoisseur of spiritual values who has attained to satisfy in respect of hearing and accounts of an excellence of the Lord, the sole refuge of the holy men? Even beings with great yogic powers like Brahma and Shiva have failed to dive deep into the auspicious qualities of the Lord, who is beyond the qualities of Prakriti. Then, what does it mean? Where is the connoisseur of spiritual values who has attained to society in respect of hearing the accounts of excellence of the Lord? Who that is appreciative of the spiritual flavor would feel satiated with the praising of the Lord? He who is the only refuge of great saints and the depth of whose greatness has not been sounded even by Shiva and Brahma. That means it is all good.
Yes.
Brahman is described in the Taittiriya Upanishad as Rasa or bliss. Rasa Vaisha. This bliss manifests as the highest type of devotion. Upanishad says Rasa Vaisha. Sa means that Brahman is Rasa. Rasa means joy. Rasa means peace, joy, happiness. So the bliss, that joy, manifests as the highest type of devotion.
Could it be intoxicating emotion? Rasa? Emotion that's intoxicating. Rasa?
Emotion is what? Emotion is joy. Emotion is not always joy.
Intoxicating.
Intoxicating তো হতে পারে, খারাপও হতে পারে। জয়টা আলাদা। যেটা ইমোশন কিন্তু পজিটিভ ইমোশন, তবে ইমোশন দু রকমই হয়।
Or bliss.
Yeah.
Bliss.
This bliss, this joy, manifests as the highest type of devotion. That is the, if you love God, then you can gradually develop that devotion. So according to the teachings of the Bhagavata, the perfect Jnani or knower of God is also the most exalted type of Bhakta, and vice versa. That means Jnana and Bhakti are not too different. That's the point. When you make a journey, one goes the path of this is God, this is God, this is God. And Vedanta says not this, not this, not this. And ultimately there is the Satchidananda. And Bhakta says, no, God is here, God is there, God is there. So ultimately, when they mature, that they feel that that God of love is everywhere. And also those who are following the path of Vedanta, saying not this, they also reach at the end that ananda, that joy. So examples of these are Sukadev, Narada and other in the Puranas. In the modern times, Sri Ramakrishna is the best known example of the Bhagavata teaching that Jnana and Bhakti are not opposed but are rather complementary in all persons of spiritual development, including Jivan Muktas. Jivan Muktas means those who are mukta, free when in the breathing, eating, sleeping, walking. So they live in joy only. They may have physical ailment. Many sadhus, exalted sadhus, may have some great physical problem. But they live in joy. As Hari Maharaj used to say, Deho jane ar dukkho jane. Oh, my mind, that this body knows and dukkha, the suffering knows. Let body and suffering, they know each other. But you remain in bliss. You are not the body. You are not the suffering. So you remain above.
This is, Swami, our challenge, no? To reject the body, to say I'm not the body, right? It's the greatest challenge because every step of the morning we think that way, right? And that's how we experience. That's why we come here, right?
That's why when you meditate, what do you say? You forget the body. Meditation means what? Meditation process is what? You are thinking God is in my heart, He is sitting in my heart, and thinking of Him and repeating His name. They forget that your body. So the whole spiritual struggle is to forget the body. That's why it is said, whether you are progressing in spiritual life or not, that sign is that how much you can disassociate with the body.
But it's very difficult because all the time we are thinking that way, right? Although we may say, okay, I'm not the body.
That is true.
We fail all the time. That's why we need Vedanta, right?
That's why we need spiritual practice. Not everyone should be Vedantic practice, but all practice. Anything that helps you to forget the body. When you listen to the holy text, you forget your body. When you are, say we are here, you have your bodily pain maybe, but your attention is not on the pain, so you forget. So you are less pain when your mind is focused in something else. People are seeing some movie. When they get more absorbed in the movie, they forget that they have the bodily pain. So if that happens, so why not see the movie of the Lord in your heart? And then the body idea will drop. And perfect, when one reaches the perfect state, they forget all concept of body. They get absorbed in God and God alone.
Even on Saturday, I was crossing the street and one man was trying to drive his car and he just, basically he died like that. And I was young
He
person.
died?
Okay, so I called 911.
In the car?
He was driving. He stopped the car, it's stiff shift, and he was trying to get, and he couldn't do the shift. We tried to open the car was not, because it took a while, and then I called the paramedics, and finally they tried to put it, but he wasn't breathing. And he was talking on the phone, all that. In 1 minute, he was trying to drive that. His desire was to keep driving, but the body was gone.
Wow.
But even for like, I probably spent 15 minutes calling these people, trying to do this. I was thinking so many things, but the moment you help something, you're relieved of your problem, and you're thinking about helping somebody else, you feel better. But then I went back, it was up, and they told me that he had died.
Wow.
Can you imagine? Young man.
Yeah,
How young do you think he was?
maybe, we don't know. You see, I tried to look because they asked me so many questions,
Oh,
but I couldn't see anything because there's no expression in his face.
oh yes.
It's like a blank paper.
Can you imagine? to
You
die
can't
like
see
that?
anything.
20s,
moment.
maybe in his 20s.
Maybe 30 or 40, like that.
Wow.
They say maybe a stroke.
Of
A
course.
stroke, a massive stroke. Or heart attack. But if
That's
it's
the way
face,
to die.
But you see, most people, they're going to die. They feel a little sick or they go to bed or something, but they don't just try driving a car, right?
hopefully not.
Hopefully not.
You never know.
I mean, he stopped and then he couldn't continue driving.
Wow. And the good thing is he didn't injure anybody.
Yeah.
It's always very important.
Yeah.
When you die on the road.
But-
You know, I can tell you something happened to me, which was a miracle. Just happened just a few days ago. I was on Fountain,
You know what?
Fountain Avenue, going to Fairfax, and there was a tricycle motorcycle right in front of me. It was going very slowly, and suddenly a car hit me from behind, and I went forward. And I immediately was able to brake
Thank
completely, immediately. And I missed that tricycle by this many inches.
God.
And then I wanted to see what happened to my car, but it was a narrow road. I couldn't get out even of my car. There was so much traffic. So I decided, well, whatever happened to my car happened. But a miracle has happened that I didn't hit that tricycle. And then I got to my destination, and I looked at the back of my car, not even a scratch.
Wow.
And I was repeating Mother Durga's name. And whenever I drive, I always repeat her name because I don't feel comfortable in driving. My father always used to tell me when I used to practice with him. He said, car is a killing machine.
Of course.
Who?
My father.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. But it was a miracle, Swamiji. Nothing. I didn't hit the person in front, which I could have easily because he threw me all forward. And then there was nothing with nothing in my back. Completely intact. I think it was a miracle.
But one forget that you think you can go from here to there, that it may not happen,
Correct.
Of course.
Nothing is
true.
other than death and tax.
Exactly. Other than what?
Death and tax.
Tax. Yeah.
Taxes.
There's nothing you can do about them.
Even taxes, when you're not there, it won't affect you, right? If you're dead,
Then you don't tax.
maybe in your next lifetime.
I hope not.
There's going to be no next life.
Yeah. That's
You have
what
to believe that. Right, Swami?
Right.
Yeah.
You have to believe there's
the
no
Guru will come and
Yeah.
rescue you.
So, which spiritual aspirant engrossed in the accounts of the Lord's excellences will cease to be delighted with them, the knowledge of which establishes one in serenity here and hereafter, by freeing the mind from the sway of passion. Did we read that? No. Sukha? No. Where? Where we are reading?
Yes, it's 11.
We're on 10 or we are in 11?
Oh, I still doing the 10? I don't know, Swamiji.
Okay, see 11. Let us read 11.
Yeah.
Which spiritual aspirant, engrossed in the accounts, read, you can read, you have the book.
Okay. The Sukha on the very wide scope of Shravana, Sri Sukha. Which spiritual aspirant engrossed in the accounts of Lord's excellences will cease to be delighted with them, the knowledge of which establishes one in serenity here and hereafter, by freeing their mind from the sway of passions, and gives one detachment from the qualities, gunas, of Prakriti, and thereby carries one along the path of devotion to the goal of liberation.
Even English is so difficult.
But what?
Even reading that English
I know it's complicated.
to make the simple understanding is so difficult. What the question of Sanskrit?
What is that? You think I didn't understand what I was reading? I think
No, no,
maybe
no.
I just managed.
Your reading is good, but I am saying we don't make the understanding what the English says here. It says, in the narration of the glories of Hori, one gets the knowledge which enables him to cross the eddies of worldliness. The mind becomes serene and renounces all attachments. So, which spiritual aspirant who is engrossed in the accounts of the Lord's excellences will cease to be delighted with them. With them, who is engrossed in the accounts of the Lord's excellences will cease to be delighted with them. That them means with the anecdotes. The knowledge of which will establishes one in serenity here and hereafter, and will freeing the mind from the passion and give one a detachment from the qualities of the guna, prakriti, bhap. One sentence make a meaning of it. ज्ञानम यदा प्रतिनिवित्त गुणो भी चक्रम आत्मो आत्म्यो प्रसाद उभयत्र गुणैषु असंग कैवल्य सम्मत पथस्थ तत भक्ति योग किंग निवृत्तो हरिकथासु हरिंग न कुछ बाप रे बाप Sanskrit is difficult. English translation is also difficult. Anyhow, we'll go to the next one. Minute or two. The next verse is 2-3 verses. Saunaka, you read. You read that.
I feel sympathy. This?
12.
Oh, sorry. Except in the case of those who spend at least a little of their time contemplating on the Lord. The lifespan of man is meant only to be swallowed by time, symbolized by the rising and setting sun. For do not the trees also live like men? Do not the billows also inhale and exhale air like them? Do not the domestic animals also eat and mate like them? He into whose ear the Lord has not found entrance through the recitals of his excellencies is verily an animal, a dog or a pig, a camel or an ass.
Ayur haratihi boi pungsham. Bolchen, except in the case of those who spend at least a little of their time in contemplating on the Lord, the lifespan of men is meant only to be swallowed by time. The time, see, our life is what? The clock, click, 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 click going on, no? 24 hours goes away. Whether you think of God or not, the time goes away. So here he is saying that except in the case of those people in the world who spend at least a little of their time, so 24 hours time, at least some time, little of their time, in contemplating on the Lord, think about God, meditate on God or pray to God, then the lifespan is meant only to be swallowed by time. Otherwise the life is going away. Every day goes, another day comes, another day, another month comes, another year comes. Huh? So I am saying that I am here 25 years. How every beat of time came and went away. What is useful time? The moments you have thought of God, that is useful. and otherwise a cat, dog, scorpion, ass, cow, goat, they also live. They are dead, click, 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 click. They eat and die. So, what is the difference between your life, our life, and their life? Unless someone thinks about God. So, this is the emphasis. Ayur Harati. Ayu, the life force, is being extracted. Everyone's life is being taken away. Click, 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 click. 24 hours going, no one can stop that for anyone. Oh, I will hold my life at 24 years age. No. With that saying, it will be 24 hours, 1 second, 2 seconds, 3 seconds. So life goes on. It is meaningless if one does not think of God. So that is the emphasis. That's why he says, lifespan to be swallowed by time, symbolized by the rising and setting of sun. One day comes and day goes. That's why Ramakrishna used to cry when he used to see the setting sun. And he used to say, oh mother, another day is gone. I have not realized you. So those who think of that, their life is meaningful. Otherwise the life is like, for do not the trees also live like men? A tree, it also time click, 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 click. It does not know anything.
But it lives longer than we do.
But what is that? It is what type of living?
I know.
What type of living?
Right.
Someone is coming with a sword, chopping the branch. Someone is cutting the root, taking out plucking the flowers, tearing the hairs. It is a helpless life. And just living like a stumble. No, you cannot do anything. You suffer the storm, you suffer the heat, you suffer the rain, and human torture. Go on. So life is like that. What is the time difference between a tree? It also lives and dies. Human being also live and die. What is the meaning of it?
But this is something that we experience all the time. That
Do
our
not,
days are swallowed by time. No.
do not, who understands that? Then life will be serious. We cannot live like that as we are living. If you know time is passing away,
Particularly when you get to be old, you realize. I realize that
any
very much.
any time of life, those are fortunate people who can really understand that the life has a, what is the meaning of life? Just being born and everyone goes away. See, that's why we say the childhood days we spend our time with the toys. My pet, what you call the ওই যে হাতি ঘোড়া ওইগুলো নিয়ে থাকে কি বলে থাকে toys childhood toys are there and that baby is happy with that. Then you grow little, then friends come in life, go to school, play, time goes away, then become adult, then adult play goes on, and then become little mature, then cry and weep and job and this and that goes on, and then grow a little bit, and then aches and pains and this and that goes away, and one day, go. So the lifespan goes on tick, 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 tick. So what is this life? It is like leading like a tree. That's the first example they give. Do not the billows also inhale and exhale air like them? Like a wave comes, big, huge wave below. Is there not? It is only air makes them big. It comes and runs and falls down. Do not the domestic animals also eat and mate like them? Simple life of simple living and dying. So what is the life other than those who think about God? So he's saying it is useless life. And millions and billions are spending the same way. Even we are reading the book. We spend 24 hours. How? We do routine work, go to, and mind is going everywhere. And then we do other things whole day.
So that's not really thinking of God because the mind is.
Yeah. So it is saying that it is only if you spend your time most beneficially when you think of God and your divinity. So this is the emphasis.
So that's the reason why I'm saying. When I drive, I always say, Jai Shri Durga, Jai Shri Durga. And she saved me. It was a miracle that I didn't hit that bicycle because I was immediately able to put the brake. And there was not a scratch on my back of my car.
But even when you say, I am old, you're thinking yourself as the body. That you're still in ignorance because you're not old.
I'm not saying I'm old. I said Jai Shri Durga. That's all I said.
No, before you said that. But is that part of our thinking? I am this way, I am that way, associated with the body. Eventually, if you think that you're not that is.
Now, how can you drive then? How can you eat then?
Like
No, how can you?
It's what we have
that
to
is
practice.
only in samadhi. That is only in the samadhi. But when you are eating, when you are talking, when you are driving, you are in the body-mind level. But thinking the name of Lord, what she is saying, that I remembered the Lord and that saved me.
Yes.
No, it's good. But what I'm saying is that
I know.
I know what you were saying,
But
have you seen a person like that? That who is just in Satchidananda?
No, we have to practice a little bit, not too much, a little bit. We have to remember that.
We know that.
Yeah.
We have all these experiences. We're all getting old. We're all getting this, but we have to think that.
Yeah.
With my driving, I had a good thing. I went and hit a police car, and oh Lord, but they didn't give me any ticket. The car was damaged. They didn't give me any ticket. 3 police people came. They were so kind to me.
What is it?
Oh, they say, oh, don't worry. It happens all the time.
Oh my God.
Are you okay? Do you have anybody to call? You want to call? I said, I have nobody in the world. Should have said Holy Mother, but you won't understand who is Holy Mother. And they were all so kind. And then somehow Holy Mother prompted me to tell them at the end when they were all that kind, 3 of them. So I said, we really appreciate all that you do for us, and I'll pray for your protection. And they were so happy saying that. So that was a good experience. And I said, my license is coming. They said, that's not going to affect your license. And people were surprised that they didn't give me any ticket.
Can you imagine? That was a miracle.
That was really good.
When it happened?
Mother was
When?
Just a few months back.
No, Baba.
It's your charm.
Just you touched.
No, I damaged his
back.
Actually, I tried to make a turn without realizing that car has not cleared. And so went and hit him. And then I didn't realize that was police. So I went and stopped, but he went somewhere, and I thought, what shall I do? Shall I, in the meantime, he comes with red and blue light. So I said, oh, you're police? He said, yes.
That was a miracle.
Yeah.
He left his car in the middle of the street?
No, why would he? He was driving, and I tried to make a right turn, thinking that I have cleared his car, which I did. So I ended up hitting the body of his car. But turned out to be such good people. 3 of them. Wow. It happens all the time.
So do not the domestic animals also eat and mate like them, he into whose ear the Lord has not found entrance. That's a very beautiful word. He into whose ear the Lord has not found entrance through the recitals of His excellences, he is verily an animal, a dog or a pig, a camel or an ass. Meaning, that person who is non-receptive. Many people cannot tolerate this spiritual talk. So they run away.
They get bored.
So that's why he's talking about them. And they find pleasure in other things, but when any spiritual discussion or anything comes, they find it happened with Sri Ramakrishna also. Calcutta people coming to Sri Ramakrishna, and then they are restless and poking the friend to come out, and then left because the friend was still listening to Sri Ramakrishna. The friend left and said, "Okay, I'm waiting in the boat, having fresh air." So this is the type, and even you can find in your own family. There are all maybe 5 brothers and sisters. Some is totally dislikes any spiritual talk, any spiritual. About another brother, another sister, they may be more into it. So they are fortunate, those who give space in their ear to receive the message of the Lord. The sole purpose of human life, according to the Bhagavata, and according to the great teaching like Sri Ramakrishna, teacher like Sri Ramakrishna, is the practice of devotion and attainment of knowledge and love of God. If man eschews this spiritual value, his life, however advanced it may be in the matter of material power and opportunities from sensuous enjoyment, is little different from that of an animal. They may be very rich, they may be very powerful, they may be in a position and respect outwardly, materially, but in spiritual sense, they are no different than the ordinary creature, animals. This is the point that modern man, who boasts so much of science, technology, and social advancement, should ponder over. So this translation, the sun by its rising and setting reduces the day of life of a mortal man. He who therefore passes his moments without listening to the glories of the Lord wastes them in vain. Do not trees live like that? Do not billows blow the air? Do not domestic animals eat and pair? The man within whose ears Krishna has not found admission is like a beast, a camel, an ass, a dog, an unclean pig that feeds on filth. So, okay.
Thank you, Swamiji.
Thank you, Maharaj.
Your holy company and holy reading.
Yeah. Holy room, holy time.
Oh, yeah, right.
Today there is no viewer yet. Bah.
No viewer at all, like here. Yeah,
That day it was 3 viewers. In the
Last
whole world, 3 viewers listen to my talk.
But Swamiji didn't know how much they're missing.
Yes, that's true.
They're not around to even know that. Okay. Jai Ma, Jai Thakur.
This subject is not very juicy.
It's
But it makes
wonderful.
sense.